how does something even start off the way that this video is about to start off? Like, I really wish that I had all the gear that I needed because I would just go just on his intro. But you're about to see this video of this man. This is the second video I've seen just on YouTube. And you know how restrictive YouTube is about this very subject. And I list my videos the way I do. And if you looked at my channel, you know why I'm sitting here with a rag on my head. But or why I'm coming to you like this at all. So take a look at the video. Remember, it's the second one I've seen, and 420 is like 6 days away. This video was recorded 6 days ago. It's only about 6 minutes. All right, here we go, y'all. Enjoy. I'm gonna stop every now and then. Fair use, fair use. And all this is, I guess, allegedly, or is that just what we have to say for somebody's trial?
420, and I'm not talking the number that everybody,
That's not how it started. Hold up, though.
Hitler's birthday present. 420, and I'm not talking the number that everybody, uses to describe marijuana. But 420 is also Hitler's birthday, April 20th. And, it's a big deal all around the world. There's an annual festival in Germany that draws over 100,000 people. It's not explicitly for Hitler's birthday, wink, wink, nod, nod. We have Nazi groups, neo-Nazi groups in Florida, Missouri, North Carolina, who have all organized events specifically to celebrate Hitler's birthday on April 20th.
I'm an African American. I need y'all to hear that, okay? I need for these states to really listen up.
We have Nazi groups, neo-Nazi groups in Florida, Missouri, North Carolina, who have all organized events specifically to celebrate Hitler's birthday on April 20th. These include Adolf Hitler celebrations and gatherings marked as family-friendly to indoctrinate children into white supremacist ideology. In Germany...
Hold on, teacher, I got a question. Y'all do know it's a particular state that a while back, y'all can look this up, a while back, they had it was some kind of curriculum. It was an official curriculum for like a H or a Yahtzee school. It was an official curriculum. It's in the same state where I live.
In Georgia, a Georgia neo-Nazi posted a photo on social media of a swastika-decorated birthday cake that his girlfriend gave him in honor of Hitler's birthday. And at the Federal Correctional Facility in Florence, Colorado, a Hitler birthday celebration among white supremacist inmates escalated into a race riot involving over 200 prisoners, resulting in deaths as well as injuries. And this year, the celebration of Hitler's 136th birthday.
This is his 136th birthday. You can go ahead and gematria that real quick.
The celebration of Hitler's 136th birthday may be a bigger deal than past years because that's the day that Donald Trump gets the report that tells him whether or not he can declare a state of emergency and invoke the Insurrection Act of 1807.
Time out. The Insurrection Act of 1807. I used to belong to a group that taught me that once you don't know a word, look it up right then. Because you're gonna, if I go on with this video, we're gonna interpret it like we know what the Insurrection Act of 1807 was. So before we even get to that, how many insurrection acts have there been throughout the history of the United States? Because I thought we was already under an insurrection act, and that's why we was getting the doohickeys out of here, supposedly, supposedly illegal. All right. There has only been one official insurrection act. So he started deporting them though the way he has been in this inhumane way and gathering whoever up, right? He started doing that before he got the official word because this is the second video I've heard yet, both from people who are Caucasians and that are saying that there is a rumor about martial law on 420. And what I need y'all to really understand about if there is a martial law declared on 420 is, I lost my point. Um, if there is martial law declared on 420, that is martial law is the first step in the. It's one of the steps of the King Alfred plan, which I'll try to get into here too. So I might have to change the title of the video, and I don't even know if it's recording well. We'll see, right? Because I don't want to record the whole thing. I guess somewhere it will be recorded, but I sometimes my sound gets messed up. I'm not sure y'all can hear me or anything. There's only been one official insurrection act, but it has been invoked or amended multiple times. That's the Act of 1807, the law itself. It was passed in 1807. The Insurrection Act authorizes the president to deploy federal troops and National Guard to suppress civil disorder, insurrection, or rebellion within the United States. It is not multiple acts. It's a single piece of legislation with amendments added over time, such as during Reconstruction, yada yada. All right. It has been invoked fewer than 10 times in over 200 years, but it's been amended several times. Would the implication of the Insurrection Act include only the latest amendment, or would it be based on all the amendments or its original version? And I need y'all to understand something else. If it's 52 days or whatnot since he has, you know, um, if 420 is marks 52 days since he, when they get the word that whether or not they can do it, then this means that 52 days ago, he already was about to declare martial law. He just had to see, this is only to see if he can do it. 52 days ago, he decided something was going on, that either the moves that he's making was going to cause civil uprising or whatever they call this, people being crazy, or he already felt like there was turbulence. This says that, hold on, y'all, coming. When the Insurrection Act is invoked, what governs its use? It's governed by the entire current he's trying to get rid of the Constitution. Y'all know that, right? It's governed by the entire current text of the law, which includes the original 1807 Act, all the amendments, judicial interpretations, and any relevant sections of the U.S. Code, mostly Title 10. Now you got to look up Title 10 to really understand this. This means the version of the law in effect at the time of invocation is what applies. For example, if a president invoked the act in 1957, they were using the version as it stood at the time. If invoked today, it includes all the current language, original plus amendments, minus anything that's been repealed. So can you tell me what that means for people of color and or African Americans? Is there specifically something in there that affects us? Yes. The Insurrection Act has deep implications for black people and communities of color. Not just, I'm reading this live, y'all. I haven't never looked this up before. These are questions that are coming to me as I'm hearing this guy talk. The Insurrection Act has deep implications for black people and communities of color, not just in its language, but in how it's been used historically and could be used again. The law itself. The current text of the Insurrection Act does not name race or identity, but what matters most is how it has been applied in practice, especially since against black communities. Key sections and how they've affected black people. Section 252, use of use to enforce federal law. Whenever the president considers that whenever the listen, this is a perspective kind of thing already. Whenever the president, and y'all know he's different. So what our normal presidents have, already been off the hook about, he got a cabinet behind him that has no experience in political things and governmental things. They're coming from the WWE and the media and his buddies from the country club that felt like, you know what? I want to be president one day. That would be fun. I would love to be on a cabinet. It's like they're having their biggest wish right now. They always wanted to run the country just because they were rich. I would love to see a cabinet of all formerly homeless people or people that never could get off Section 8. I would love to see that cabinet and see how they run things. Can we? That would be fun to to see them want to give somebody power, to see them want to let goods come over from other countries. Boy, this place would be popping. It would. I think it would. Whenever the president, this is all up to the president. Whenever the president considers that unlawful obstructions, combinations, or assemblages or rebellion, whenever he thinks that this is against the authority of the United States, uh, whenever it makes it impracticable. I've never seen that word before. To enforce the laws by the ordinary course. So laws have to be broken. In what he considers laws have to be being broken. Okay? Not in reality, what he considers laws being broken. Okay? By ordinary course of judicial proceedings, he may call into federal service such forces as he considers necessary to enforce those laws. How it affected us. This section was used to enforce desegregation. This section 252 of the Insurrection Act was used to enforce desegregation, like Eisenhower in Little Rock in 1957, which was a positive use of the act to protect black students. Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, I don't understand that part, but okay. Right? Because it sounded bad. It was used to enforce desegregation, like Eisenhower in Little Rock in 1957. We have to look that up, which was a positive use of the act to protect black students from racist mobs. I don't know, y'all. But it can also be used against protests, such as civil rights protests or uprisings in response to police brutality. In response to police brutality, especially when labeled unlawful assemblages. What? In response to brutality? See, I'm tripping right now. It's like it's weird. That language is very, very weird. It sounds twisted. But it can also be used against protests, such as civil rights protests or uprisings in response to police brutality, especially when labeled unlawful assemblages. So if you are unlawfully assembling, in his eyes, it can be used. I'm not getting that. Y'all go ahead and look this up though. Section 253, insurrection and domestic violence. The president may use the armed forces to suppress in a state any insurrection, domestic violence, unlawful combination, or conspiracy. Catch here. The language is vague and broad and has historically been used to quell black uprisings or civil unrest in black neighborhoods. This part 253 has been used for this. The government could interpret righteous protest, or this is why we haven't been protesting, because the government, this guy who already is destroying all our monuments and our grandfathers, our mothers, fathers, grandfathers, great grandfathers' history, he's going to erase in their names, and we ain't said nothing, because if we say something, it's called an insurrection. So we're not saying nothing. The government, because the government could interpret righteous protest or community self-defense as domestic violence or insurrection. Historical use shows racial bias. It has been used to suppress black resistance, rarely used to protect black people from white supremacist violence. Historically, this is how it's been used. In the modern implication, it could target black-led movements like Black Lives Matter. This is what it actually says. This is my assessment. It gives the president sweeping powers to override state and local governments. That's what he wants. He wants to be the king. This is the king's rule. Okay? If he can say that we're righteously protesting, but it's going against and it's causing police brutality or something, then he can call this up. And he already plans to. He planned to 52 days ago, but he's going to hear if he can actually do it on 420. And so far, since like last Wednesday, today is the 14th of April. Since last Wednesday, the courts have been letting him have his way with these deportations. First, they paused it, and then he brought up something to now where they are starting them up again. And supposedly, some guys over there illegally. Some guy that's a good guy. A few guys, the hairdresser, yada yada. So even though the law doesn't say, oh, wait a minute, it says it could be used to target black-led movements, it gives the president sweeping powers to override state and local governments, even in places where black people hold office. Why did he say that? Federal troops could be deployed without consent of local leaders. The king's rule. All the king's horses and all the king's men. So even though the law doesn't say black people, its discretionary power and historic pattern of use mean it can be and has been weaponized against black communities. The bottom line, there's no explicit mention of race, but the execution of the act has often served white power structures. It has been used both to protect and oppress black communities, depending on political will, and the danger is in the interpretation and who's in charge when it gets used. Take it from something that, all right, we're going to keep on with the video, y'all.
On January 20th, when he became president, when he was sworn in, one of the very first, it may well have been the first executive orders he signed that day, tasked his Secretary of Defense, now Pete Hegseth, and his Secretary of HHS, Kristi Noem, to collaborate.
Hegseth and
Noem uses to describe marijuana.
My bad,
but 420 is also Hitler's birthday. 53 days into Hitler's chancellorship, that he got the Enabling Acts passed, which was essentially the same thing.
Sorry.
He could suspend the Constitution, which is exactly him on April 20th, what a perfect date, right, on Hitler's birthday, whether or not he could suspend the Constitution.
Let me make sure.
Which is exactly what Hitler got.
I gotta make sure you're getting all your meats. We don't want to leave out any vegetables. I apologize.
His Secretary of Defense, now Pete Hegseth, and his Secretary of HHS, Kristi Noem, to collaborate and inform him on April 20th what a perfect date, right, on Hitler's birthday, whether or not he could suspend the Constitution, which is exactly what Hitler got on March 27th? I'd have to go back and look, but it was 53 days into Hitler's chancellorship that he got the Enabling Acts passed, which was essentially the same thing. They said the president can violate the Constitution.
You understand? Hitler did it 53 days from when he got installed, and Trump wanted to know in 53 days from when he got installed. Why did he choose 53 days? What? When I want to be like Michael Jordan, I wear his shoes.
Because it's a moment of national emergency. The national emergency that Hitler pointed to was economic. It was the Great Depression. The national emergency that Donald Trump is pointing to is immigrants coming across the southern border, which is, by the way, pretty much stopped. The German ambassador to the United States, who knows well the significance of Hitler's birthday, wrote about this danger in a confidential but leaked briefing document. He said,
the German ambassador wrote about it, but they have a national Hitler thingy in Germany every year.
Donald Trump's agenda is one of maximum disruption, bringing about a redefinition of the constitutional order. Maximum concentration of power with the president at the expense of Congress and the federal states. Basic democratic principles and checks and balances will be largely undermined. The legislature, law enforcement, and media will be robbed of their independence and misused as a political arm, and big tech will be given co-governing power. He wrote this the week that Trump was sworn in.
Big tech will be given co-governing power. Y'all ain't hear what I said. Y'all ain't hear what he said. Y'all ain't hear what I replayed.
The legislature, law enforcement, and media will be robbed of their independence and misused as a political arm, and big tech will be given co-governing power. He wrote this the week that Trump was sworn in for the German government and accurately predicted exactly what's going on. Of course, he's the German ambassador. I mean, the guy has read history. So when you start seeing the institutions of a country bending to the will of its leader, you know that you are quite a ways down the authoritarian road. And we're seeing this. Paul Wise and other major law firms have buckled to Trump. Republicans in Congress are using the threat of impeachment to attack judges, the independence of federal judges. Major multiple media outlets have already rolled over.
We are already knee deep in this.
Paying Trump off. You recall CBS gave him, or was it ABC, gave him $15 million. Multiple universities have caved into Trump's demands that he arrest and deport their foreign students. Most concerning, though, is what he has planned for Hitler's birthday, which is the day that he learns whether or not he'll have a document that will give a patina of legalism to his declaration. 420. Now, it may be that this is also the number for marijuana, but it appears to be a favorite of Elon Musk, just FYI. According to the Tesla website, April 20th is Elon Musk Day, a moment to celebrate the underappreciated genius. He once tweeted he was considering making Tesla private at $420. He acquired Twitter for $54.20 a share. He once tweeted, "I was born 69 days before 420." But this year is the date, excuse me, that Trump gets his orders. And would he violate the Constitution? Would he violate posse comitatus? Well, he's already imposing illegal tariffs. The Constitution is quite clear. It's in Article 1, I believe Section 7, maybe Section 9, that says that only Congress can impose tariffs. Now, I realize in 1973, I think it was, 74, Congress passed a law saying that in a state of emergency, the president could declare a tariff, which is what he's using right now, but that's pretty thin gruel. Also, his deportations without due process are illegal under the Constitution. Trump doesn't care. He's doing them anyway. Yeah, Trump taking millions from the Saudis for his live golf tournament over the weekend at his a shabby golf resort. That's an illegal violation of the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution. He doesn't care. His hustling Tesla cars in front of the White House, it's an illegal violation of the Hatch Act. He could go to prison for that. He doesn't care. His hatchet man Musk, his wholesale firing of government employees and shutting down agencies that were created by Congress, that's illegal. He doesn't care. So we're long past the moment when our first felon president slipped into his criminal mode. The question now is how far he's going to go once he gets his Hitler's birthday present in roughly 2 weeks.
All right, well, that's what that is.
Navan's business travel platform?
Sorry about that. You
Completely ruined my
you know how the boys
See, I've been in the great policy force for over 30 years. Let me tell you,
My bad.
I've
I've been a
seen
long
it all.
time. But so y'all, that's what it is. I feel like saying all the shit everybody else say. Like, some subscribe. I do need you. I do want to start on my channel, but I need y'all to really like. You need to personally decide if this is important for you to know. And then I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't have answers to this. I just want to spread the word because um, I think it's important for people to know. I think it's important for people to know what's going on right now, what has the potential to go on, and what are you going to do about it? I mean, like, when you really like something, you don't let it go. If you like the freedom, you don't let it go, you know? So I do have another part. There was a video I caught last night, and so you give me a minute here. Why don't we take a brief pause? Let me go get something to drink, and I'm gonna let my video play, and then I will come back and I will do the video that I saw last night that was equally a trick. So give me a second here. I'm just gonna play some things and enjoy yourself if you want to hang in, and I'm gonna put things on and let things go for a minute. So hang tight, y'all. Feel free to go get yourself a snack. I'm just doing this to spread the word and having some trouble bringing that up. So I'm gonna just, if you like to, because this is how I feel about the world and everything that I hear, like everything, so many things, right? Enjoy. I'm gonna get a drink, and yeah, so. What in the fuck is you? So cool, baseline. I drove the high hat, shimmer, focus. What have you done to us? What in the fuck is that? Where in the fuck are we? Where have you done to us? Where did the trust go? Where did the love go? Where in the fuck are we? Tell me, this ain't the home I used to know. Where in the fuck? Where in the fuck are we? Where in the fuck? Where in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck is that? I drove a high-hat shimmer, focus. What have you done to us? What in the fuck is that? Where in the fuck are we? Where have you done to us? Where did the trust go? Where did the love go? Where in the fuck are we? Where in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? Where did the trust go? Where did the love go? Where in the fuck are we? This ain't the home I used to know. Oh no. Where in the fuck? Where in the fuck are we? What in the fuck? 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 Falling vocals overgrown to the judge. I can't wait to fuck me. Please be. What in the fuck? 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 What in the fuck are we? What have you done to us? Where did the trust go? Where did the love go? Where did the fuck are we? This ain't the home I used to know. What in the fuck? 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 What in the fuck are we? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck are we? What in the fuck? What have you done to us? Where did the trust go? Where did the love go? Where in the fuck are we? It ain't the home I used to know. Oh no. What in the fuck? What in the What in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? What in the fuck? Oh, what in the fuck? What in the